quiet. No sounds of arguing. No risk of someone storming in through the door, screaming at me to put the mic down. If you listen closely, you can hear my kids playing happily in the in one of their rooms. I'm Emma. I'm a medical doctor and an abuse survivor. Today, I want to tell you about the 5 steps that you can use to rebuild your life and reinvent yourself after an abusive relationship. Step 1, be safe. Before you can start to heal, you need to get yourself to a safe location. You need to go through with someone with experience the situation you are in and evaluate the risk um, for the abuser stalking you, finding you, or hurting you, and then take the actions to minimize that risk and have a plan for what you would do if you were to show up. Once you are in a safe, a peaceful environment, this is when the exhaustion will hit. For periods, sometimes weeks, during the last 16 months, I have been sleeping for up to 15 hours a day, not being able to go to work, and feeling more exhausted than I've been in my entire life. I felt like an old lady. Don't battle that exhaustion. That is your body finally releasing all the adrenaline, the cortisol, the stress hormones that have been at such a high level during the relationship. When the stress hormones really lowers, then your system goes into healing. It is just like, the first week of vacation when you're just planning to do things and finally we are having vacation from work. And then for many people who are overworking, then the exhaustion will hit them the first week. Perhaps they come down with a cold and they feel like, is this what the vacation is supposed to be like? But that is your body actually going through a period of calm and rebuilding itself. That is the body's way of healing. Listen to it and rest and sleep if you need to. This is a period, it is not the rest of your life. Step 2, when you are free from the abuser, then there is a space opening up. A space where he used to hang over you with his shadow, telling you what you needed to do, what was the right decision. And you had sort of, he took up a lot of space in your life. When he leaves, there are some things about that you will miss. There are some things in your relationship that you will miss. You will not feel complete without the part that he used to play. You had this back and forth going on. It was like your life was like a dance and you were used to playing your role. Now he's not there. Even though he was bringing so much um, horrors and difficulties into your life, he still had a role to fill. You had somewhere to direct your energy. You know the game you were playing. You knew what to do. Suddenly, there is an emptiness. You don't know what to do. Don't fill that space with someone else. This is not the right time to start to date. you you have not healed, you have not processed what you've been through, it will likely not work out the way you think, and will only postpone your healing. Sorry, kids interrupting. They also fill a space in a way. After my separation, I distracted myself by investing too much energy into some family members who had difficulties in their life. And I was trying to help them out and get them on their feet. Although that's a very, well, it's a lovely thing to do to help someone else out. And that is something I always enjoyed. Now, this was not a time for me to do that. It was a distraction from my own process and my own healing. Leave that space. Even though it's uncomfortable, don't fill it to the brink where you are getting distracted from yourself. Step three, you know who will fill that space? You will. You will evolve and you will slowly reclaim the parts of your life and of your person that you had surrendered to your abusive partner. At 36, I felt that I had to become an adult, a complete adult in my own right for the first time. Because I noticed after the separation that I was not actually used to taking large decisions on my own. My husband was the one who would take the final decision, and then I would have sort of a peace with knowing that, okay, that's what we're doing, and I wouldn't have to overthink. So that was one of the benefits that I got out of this relationship. And I didn't know that until it disappeared. Even though it was a false safety, it was something that helped to make me feel safe and sort of isolate me from having to take big decisions in life for myself. So I have had to practice taking the decisions. What is the next step? Where do we move? How do I do this in the best way to keep us safe? It took up a lot of thoughts, and also um, I was going back and forth in my mind. Okay, if I do that, perhaps that would be better, or I can do that. And then I just had to sit myself down and sort of make it like a game. So I would write down the options, and then I just decided on one that I would think would be the best. And after that, it was just like I looked at the list, and it was like the decision was made already. And I just, okay, so the decision is made. Now I have to work with it. So I had to create that safety for myself. It gets easier each time you do it. 3 weeks ago, I moved to a new home, and I managed that move all by myself, something I never thought I could do. Because of the seriousness of the situation, I got advice from professionals who are used to dealing with stalking situations that because he has found you now twice, you need to not tell anyone. Don't not even tell your family where you're going. Okay, so how do you do that? Don't tell anyone and then move to another city. So I couldn't tell anyone in my friend circle or family. Now, the city where we were living, we had been living there for 5 months. We had started to rebuild a life there, but we had to leave that place. If I would have used a moving company in that city, then the moving guys would have known where we went. Now, it's a small city. They will probably gossip. Then there will be people who knew where we went. If I use a moving company in the new town, then they will probably have the name of the company written on the truck. And even if they don't, my neighbors will be able to search the registration number on the truck and then get a name of the location where we were going. Most people are curious, and then there would be a trace to follow. Uh, in the end, I just decided no, the decision is that I'm doing this myself. And it felt really terrifying. But I Googled and I got a moving board. It's like a big wooden board with wheels on it. And I just um, screwed all my furniture apart, screwed the kitchen table apart, put off the legs and all the metallic stuff under the table. I screwed the sofa apart into several pieces. Um, all the furniture I could, I just screwed it into parts. And then I put them on this moving board and I could push it. And I did it. For every step you take in regaining the fullness of your person, pat yourself on the back. It is, um, it is a reason to celebrate. Many of us have a tendency to focus on what is bad, focus on what we don't have, about the what we are afraid of in a situation, um, and that is part of our brain trying to keep us safe, trying to look for threats and trying to prevent bad things from happening. Now, to an extent, that is needed, but you can sit down once every day and go through what you need to think about and the plans. And other than that, you shouldn't go around worrying all the time. Put it into a narrative. When you're going through emotional abuse, when you're going through traumatic events, then the memory is not stored in a normal manner. The mind might dissociate during a very traumatic event. It feels almost like you're in a dream. Like, is this really happening? And if you're going into a shock state when you're getting abused, the memories are not stored properly. They are not stored in a way that you would be able to build a narrative, and it's hard to tell someone what happened, and parts of the events have been forgotten. When I tried to tell the authorities what I had been through, it was like the memories were put in little boxes everywhere, and I couldn't quite make a cohesive narrative. And I was also still very confused. So I would tell about one event, and then I would perhaps forget some important parts of that and then jump to something else. And in between that were me trying to um, make sense of everything. Like, but that was a good period, and here he did something really nice, and it was a mess. Now it has been 16 months since the separation, and I feel that most of the things that I have been through, I am able to articulate. I'm able to put it in a timeline. I'm able to put it in a context. Writing about it in a journal, talking about what has happened with a therapist, if you can afford it, or there are programs for abuse survivors where you can get a therapist for a lower cost. That is great. Talk to a trusted friend or get in contact with other abuse survivors. I found it very helpful to interact on the YouTube communities that were dealing with narcissistic abuse, to read the comments and write some comments on my own because it brought up memories. Oh, that happened to me as well. Oh, was that what happened? And it made me feel that I'm not the crazy one. I wasn't the wrong one, and just uh, help put all the pieces into the puzzle. Open up all the boxes, put it into their proper context, and make sense of what has happened. That's an important part of the healing. Healing is one part, healing the wounds, healing the nervous system, decreasing the tension, and putting things into a narrative. That would be the first three steps. And then is the part of reclaiming your life, making the adult decisions for yourself, and patting yourself on the back when for the things that you have done to move forward, for the wins that you have had in um, rebuilding your life. That is the fourth step. Now to the fifth step, that's the most exciting one, and that is follow your bliss. There will come times as you heal that you find something um, that you really enjoy doing. Ice skating with your kids, having a coffee with a friend. If you can't see the friend, you can get on a video call. Um, and the most enjoyable thing for me has actually been this last week when I started this channel. It is something completely new for me. Having my partner uh, forbid me to use any social media. I've never been on a social media platform. I don't have Facebook, no Instagram, nothing. And um, after the last move, when I was going through all this alone, just driving back and forth with this truck, and once again getting stuck with paying two rents because I am being haunted by a crazy stalker the um, through the country, and um, it is just a situation that is totally crazy. And I am blessed. I have an education, so I am able to find work. As soon as I regain all my enough energy, I will be able to find work. Many women are not in such a position. And I was thinking more and more about this as I was going back and forth in this van, and I just thought that if I am going through this, and if I have to go through this, then I will use it in some constructive way. Hence the YouTube channel, and it really feels like I'm getting an outlet for my creativity. It really feels fun. And I've gotten 4 subscribers so far in the first week, and a few likes and a few comments. And it doesn't matter if I don't get that many views. I want to reach the ones that really need this content. I am sure that there are women out there that needs to uh, someone to talk about this, someone they can relate to. And I am right now in a position where I have been forced to leave everything I know. My reputation is, anyways, non existent. And um, I will talk about this and hopefully help someone else. Now, if you have been in a situation where you have rebuilt yourself after abuse, please make a comment and share your experience. Help others to know what worked for you. Um, give us hope. Give the community hope. Please like and subscribe and have a great day. Bye.